I think I'm live. So, hey, I got to go post the link to this meeting on our website. So, I'll be back in a couple minutes. If you are finding this recording, you can fast forward at least 6 or 7 minutes. I'm in a little bit early today, and so nothing important will happen except for me hanging out with everybody, which is very important for a few minutes. So fast forward, and then we'll get started. Right now, I'm adding our link onto our website, and what happens then is everybody comes rushing in all at once, and it's very exciting. Make sure I got it on here correctly. Brahms Lullabye today, and Beethoven. We're playing all classical music today. For some reason, all on ukulele. If you are new to ukulele, you will want to go to jollyrogerukulele.com, and that should help you get a sense of what we're up to. My little cover photo of the thing today looks ridiculous. Sandy's in. Sound is good. That's all. That's the only thing I wait for. Very first person didn't need to say, "I'm in. Sound is good." That's all I care about. That's the only thing I can't check from here. I can check the lighting. I can check all of this stuff, but I cannot check the sound independently. So that's what we got going on. Renee, checking in from Lakewood. Lakewood is right there. It's getting rained on. It looks like right now, or getting close to being rained on. I don't know. Maybe it's going to blow over. Kind of dark skies out there today. Hey, Carol, welcome in from Nithrop. And let's see. That's can wait. So I got our link posted, and I got the archive done. Close that out. Okay, that's it. We just sit and wait until our time to start. Okay, people are being. Yeah, I usually end up logging in slow, so they're not rushing to get in here. Let's see what else is going on today. I have been busy doing a bunch of different testing on this computer and that computer and the computer at the house, trying to get things where we can just have this nice, always easy setup for Gary, so he can walk in, sit down, and play. How about those arpeggiators? Cindy is working on her homework assignment from Global Institute, and she is supposed to play the hardest one she can possibly play. And for Cindy, that's a pretty hard one because those get pretty hard and pretty weird pretty fast. And remind me, Cindy, halfway through to talk about that arpeggiator assignment because everybody can be doing one, especially Burke. Burke's an arpeggiator queen. She loves them. Right, Burke? I was playing our Sonatina earlier, and I have to be honest, I could not be more proud of it. I think it's absolutely wonderful. I think it's so exciting that we're getting to play music like this. Hope you guys are having fun with it. It's kind of hard, but it's worth it, I think. Sometimes you play hard songs and they weren't worth it. I got a bunch of those on the. I have most of you guys know I write a lot of music, and I have 5 or 6 books in the guitar program, and some of them I absolutely love, and a couple of them are not even fun to play because they're so darn hard, and I don't like that. I like everything to be playable, you know. Let's see, my coffee is now hours and hours old. It tastes horrible, but I paid $3.73 for it, so I have to drink it. Gary, are you surviving Diane and her grace notes? Are you giving her a big hug and saying, "Thank you, Diane. You are awesome"? Is that what you're doing? How's it going up there in Washington? I don't want to cause any strife between couples. I want to cause a little strife between couples. What am I saying? Of course I do. Let's see. The arpeggio. Cindy, are you doing the pirate version of the arpeggios? Let's see. Cindy, C major is looking pretty right now. C major is pretty doable. Do that one. It's lovely. It's very fun. Missed you, Christine. What the heck? You're just living your life. Well, I mean, seriously, you need to be here. What the heck are you doing? Just going out and doing whatever you want. Let's see. Going to the archives, it's always better life. Is it a better life? You know, that's the one thing I don't know because I can watch the archives and I am thinking, God, that guy talks a lot. But I can't see the live sessions because they're happening right now, and so I can't be a part of them. So I never know if the live sessions are, if it's even worth it. I do know if you come and you watch the recordings of them, it is shocking how much I talk. It is shocking. So I'm going to work on that. Not probably not going to work on that. I am who I am. I'm not really going to change. So I'm glad you're here, Christine. Lindy, how the D major one is about to cramp my hand beyond recognition. The D major one. Ah, come on, Lindy. That one's duck soup, isn't it? Yes. No, that actually, honestly, guys, after the C major one, every last one of them's tough. And so, yeah, it's. I think a lot of because you're fighting bar chords all through the entire book, and I don't advertise that as being one of the benefits of the book, but oddly, the only one that doesn't really have very many bar chords is the one about B flat. That's because back when I wrote the book, I couldn't do B flats either. So there you go. Pauline is here. Pauline and I are having all sorts of conversations on email, and I think we have reached the conclusion it's Taimane. Taimane Gardner. Who knows? Maybe Taimane is one of the people hiding up here in our this little widget up here that says how many players. Is it on your side? Probably you guys. It's right here, right? The little widget tells you how many people are tuned in. Taimane, I'm convinced her, Jake, and James are all hanging out up here, but they're professional musicians, so they don't want to let in that. Professional musicians don't like you to know that they're mortal sometimes. Let's see. I'm getting emails. I've got this now connected to the whole thing is crazy. So let's see. Pauline is here. Diane, in my hometown, we had a bee. We had a bee. In my hometown, we had a bee. In my hometown, we had a bee. See, I don't know what that means. Cindy. Let's see. Beethoven and Chapin. Don't say Beethoven. You'll get somebody will fight you. It's like when you say Van Gogh or ukulele, right? When you say ukulele, you're right, but you still deserve punched in the neck, right? So Van Gogh, Van Gogh, Van Gogh. Okay, if you say Van Gogh, I want to fight you. Live is better, but that guy does talk. That guy talks a lot, right? And he stares at this screen when he should be staring at that thing. I know that guy's trying to get better. He's trying. Well, he doesn't really try, but in his heart he's trying. Okay, in his actions not so much. Let's see. Hey, Chris, welcome in. Alex. So delighted you're here, Alex. Where have you been, by the way? Have you been living your life? That's disgusting. You've been everywhere. You've been everywhere else. Where else did you go? I've been here all along. Were you using the wrong link? I hope I didn't confuse you, Alex. I'm glad you're here, Alex. Let's put it that way. I'm glad you made the trip. Live. Oh, because you guys are the chat box. Yeah, of course, that's true. That's true. At least you can talk amongst yourself. Do you think he's ever going to shut up and play some music? Let's see. Laurel's here. Jennifer back for more classical ukulele. Carol starting to break up a lot. I hate it when that happens. I am definitely on our ultra high speed internet here. It's 200 megabits up and 200 megabits down. It's super fast. And so if I'm breaking up, which I was when I was doing some tests earlier today, it's definitely YouTube. So, or I suppose it's technically possible it could be your Wi-Fi not being able to keep up. Yeah, think about it. It's a lot of video, a lot of data we're posting and pulling down all at the same time. The fact that it works at all is incredible. So hopefully I don't keep breaking up too much on you, Carol. I'm sorry about that. It's hot in Evans. Our air conditioning at the condominium has not gotten fired back up. They had to take the whole thing down to replace the motor. Haven't got the new motor in place, but there's all these other parts that they have to hook up. And so there's no air conditioning at my apartment right now. I'm the president, and tonight is the election. So they might vote me out because of that, which actually, to be perfectly honest, I would be fine with that. I'm tired of being the president. Let's see. Being the president is not what it's cracked up to be. I do not have any earthly idea why people openly and willingly seek it out. It's crazy how being that kind of a voted in leadership. People are mean, even to the condo president. It's really sad. Let's see. In Europe, they say Van Gogh, Van Gogh. uh, it's Van Gogh. Let's just go with that. Hey, Kat. Kat will straighten us out. She's smart. Hey, Lanning, welcome in. You're probably roasting up there in Evans or next to Evans, right? Jacqueline, welcome in. Talking is fine. Playing too. Yeah, right. Talking better be fine because it's never going to change. I really do want to do less. All right, so everything's going great. Evelyn's here. If she can get me in Cuenca, we're good. We're going to play 2 classical pieces today. We're playing Brahms, then we're playing Beethoven. You guys are nerds. What the heck are we doing? We're supposed to be playing, I don't know, Taylor Swift or something. We're playing Brahms and Beethoven today. Brahms and Beethoven. Get your Brahms out. We're gonna go through that. If you're newer, you gotta buckle in because this is officially your kick, right? We finished up with your sort of training yesterday or the day before, and today we are officially dropping you into you can play chord melody. We're not going to spend a lot of time babying you at this point. And so we want to make sure that the things that I think you're supposed to know and you think you're supposed to know are coming together in one big place. One little place. The little place from here to here. Some of yours is bigger than others. Hey, Q. Bay Area. See, California's been getting pretty beautiful weather, and we are roasting out here east. So who knows what's going on? Brahms. This is a real legit classical piece. The only thing that's a problem about this piece is the words. The words are so old-fashioned they don't make any sense anymore. So they kind of make sense, but like what's Badite? Badite is not a word, and here it is, and we have to deal with it. So you ought to, if you want to make a name for yourself, keep the melody, but just write way better words, right? Write some modern words for this one. Those of you who are messing around with composing, this is a great opportunity to just take everything exactly like it is, except take off all of the dumb words and put on all good words. It can stay a lullaby even, right? Is there a way to learn the position, such as fifth position? Jennifer, I think it's an interesting question or comment. How do I learn positional playing? Okay. I would say, as we were talking about that, to not overthink that necessarily. This is always the position you are going to play in. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what you'll always. When I say always, let's agree it's 85% of the time. This is basically the position. This is positional playing. Okay, that means that this is where I'm going to go. If you watch classical guitar players who've been properly trained, pretty much their fingers are 1, 2, 3, 4. That's where they are. Then the only question about positional playing is, as in fifth position, is instead of being on 1, you have this exact same pattern, but you're up on 5. So now it's 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. What I have found in my career over time is that I've spent so much time playing in first position on this instrument because it sounds the best that when I start to move up the fretboard, I have to stay pretty focused. All right, I'm going to use the same idea, 1, 2, 3, 4, but now on the tablature, it's going to say 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's second position. And so you really sort of got to stay plugged in to, I'm still playing in first position, only I'm starting on the second fret. So when you ask a question, how do I learn positional playing? You learn it here. Make sure you have a system. Make sure you follow the system here. And then if the melody starts to move up into other parts of the ukulele, this one does not, but our Beethoven does, then we're going to say, all right, my next bunch of notes are 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to play in fifth position. Or on Yankee Doodle, for example, which we'll play in a day or two, there are no 1s, so why not play it in second position? Okay, so that's positional playing. It sounds fancier than it is. What we're really trying to do is minimize how much stretching out we do. The more you, as you have figured out, I'm betting, the more times you have your pinky stretching way up here, the more likelihood is you're going to miss that note. You're going to either go too short or too far when you're getting that note. And it's so we like to have the whole hand go up there, anchor yourself in a position, and then play from there. there. If I have notes on 10, I probably want to play on the 7th position because now my pinky's showing up on 10. 7, 8, 9, 10, right? I'm putting that on 12, saying it's on 10. I got a soprano ukulele today. Everything's very close together. But so when you have 10s, you're thinking, I'm going to play in 7th position. And of course, when you have 12s, which you very rarely do in any of my arrangements, you're likely to be in 9th position, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I try not to use 12s. I just don't think that's a good note. It just doesn't sound good on any ukulele. It is a pretty nice ukulele, right? That's what it sounds like. Whoop. I don't know if that's a note we need in our life. I just don't. We have on a piano, you have all these notes all the way down here. Bing, 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 bing. You don't need those. You don't need them. They're there for decoration. So hopefully that answered your question, Jennifer. How do I think about positional playing? So is there a 10th position? Yeah, there technically it's right here. Okay, so 10, 11, 12, it's 13. Okay, so that's the 10th position right there. When we play, you guys don't have it in your book anymore, but I used to teach row, row, row your boat down here, and your index finger would come down here and play in 10th position. Okay, to realistically play up here, you have to have a cutaway ukulele, and you're just not going to play up there that much to really for it to be a thing. So hopefully that gave you a little bit of a understanding of that. In electric guitar, 10th position is absolutely a real position because, in an electric guitar, this whole thing is all cut out and there's lots and lots of room down here because they want those super high-pitched notes that can ring out way above the rest of the band. And so an electric guitar, 10th position is a real thing. They can usually have access to up to 20 frets on an electric guitar, sometimes even more, depending on the build of the guitar. And so they want those high notes to be readily available. And when you are this running through an amplifier, you end up with the ability to make some really nice notes up way up the neck there. Could you please remove the dead leaf from your plant in the night? What? This one? Burke. How many weeks? Has it been there the whole time? What else do I have in the background that's embarrassing? Jeez Louise. Thanks, Burke. I hope that solved your problems. Michael, one could say you're very other. Yeah, I know. It's Burke running. I'm going to tell Michael that Burke is causing us to do gardening. Let's see. This is so helpful. Thanks for explaining. Ballet ukulele positions. Yeah, right. So you'll hear a lot of talk in electric guitar circles about positional playing. When we play melody, we try to minimize the amount of motion. And in classical guitar, there'll even be a notation in the sheet music. Hey, you're going to be in 5th position to play this section of the music. And so that's what's there. Right. Lynn, you missed the horticultural gardening part of today's lesson. Are there any other leaves that have you upset, Burke? I got bad lighting today. I left the window open. I don't know why. All right. Brahms Lullabye. Let's play the song. First chord is a C chord. Okay. It's going to go to a G7. If you're a newer player, you're not thinking how to make a G7. You're thinking, how do I get to a G7 from a C? So if you're holding C, index down first, middle down second, ring finger back to the second. Okay. Then you're going to go to G7. After G7, you're going to go back to C. That one's one of our easier moves we have to make. Ring finger up. The other two just go away. Okay. So from here, boom, 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 slide. That's how you get from C to G7. If you're trying to get faster at switching chords, don't try playing songs to get faster at switching chords. Sit down and slowly think about, if I'm here and I got to get to here, what's the least amount of work I can do? And then do it 500 times. That. Look at that. All of a sudden you're like, oh, I just got to slide my ring finger up and down and everything else is going to work out. Okay. You also notice as I'm doing it faster and faster, these two fingers are hanging out, getting ready to go back right on. They're not jumping out of the way and doing anything weird. They're just hanging out there ready to get back at their job. Okay. Now, at one point I'm in a C and I got to get to an F. Index finger down, middle finger up, then pull off your ring finger. That's theoretical. when we're talking newer players, we tend to play very staccato because we keep pulling our fingers off too much. But if you leave this down until your F is on, you're going to get a smoother transition and it's going to sound better. Okay. Coming back, you're on F. You got to get to C. Your ring finger is just hanging out there. Boom. Okay. Just like that. Okay. Like that. And as you know, you guys, a lot of times when I have an F chord and I have a 3 down here, I will use my pinky a lot because I kept missing it with this. So if you find it easier to play your C chord with your pinky, it's perfectly fine. There's no ukulele police that's going to come and fight you on that. So you can use your pinky. Now, I don't teach that and I don't necessarily recommend it, but it is something to think about, in terms of making you faster and depending on the song. In this song, we do have in the tough uke section an F chord with the pinky right there. You can use your ring finger if that works for you. It just never would work for me very well. So I often will tell people, put your pinky on there. It works perfect. Okay. I'm on F. I go back to C. Okay. And I already know how to get to a G7 and back. I know how to get to an F, from F to C. Okay. That's all of our transitional notes. Those are our 4 chords. Hey, Kathy, welcome in. We're going to sing some Brahms Lullaby. Make sure that you understand how first and second repeats work. This is a perfect opportunity for you to talk about it. We start at the top. At measure 2, there's a forward repeat bar. That means that when you get, at some point, you're coming back to measure 2. Okay? You're going to go through measure 2, play, 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 play. When you get down at the bottom, when you get to measure 17, you have to make a decision. If I am on the first time through, I do play measure 17. If I'm on the second time through, I do not play measure 17 and I play 18. So that's whenever you start a piece of music, one of the more important things that you got to study is, hey, where do the repeats go? What do the repeats do? Now, I overhelp you on this stuff. I always, on the simpler songs like this, I put a little note up here, repeats, play 0 through 16, and I have them wrong on this piece of paper. Oh my gosh, I got to fix that. And then, so you play 0 through 17 in this case. There is no 0 on this one. That's what I messed up. I messed up our measure number. So you play 0 through 17, then come back to 2 and play through 7 through 16 and then jump to 18. So I've got the repeat scooped up, at least on my copy. I don't know if I have the same exact copy as you guys, but just make sure you know where your repeats are going to go. It's a pretty cumbersome part of playing music from sheet music is you really do have to study your repeats. Okay. But at this one, basically, you're going to play the bottom, go back, play it to the bottom again. Here we go. Okay. You guys know I can't sing, right? Here we go. First note is an open La. Kathy's here, so I got to use her system. La. 1. I'm going to count to 2 and we're going to go. 1, 2. Lullaby and good night. With roses bead-eyed, with lilies bespread, his babies weeping. Lay you down now and rest. May your slumbers be blessed. Lay you down now and rest. May your slumbers be blessed. Lullaby and good night. Thy mother's delight. Bright angels beside. My darling, abide. I will watch as you sleep. May your dreams be so sweet. I will watch as you sleep. May your dreams be so sweet. Okay. Big takeaway from playing with chords is that the melody's going all over the place. My voice is trying to hang in there on the high notes. It's trying to do those swoops up when we get from with. We're trying to do all that stuff with our voice, but we're not doing any of that with the ukulele. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Or 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. If you want to make your baby wake up, you say the same song, but then you do 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and really pound it out, right? So the idea here is keep your rhythm steady, and then it's fairly easy to get the melody in there correctly. Okay, those of you guys that have a friend with a ukulele, that's going to be their job, is to run the chords, because they don't know how to play melody. You got to teach them still, and so they're going to be running those chords. Okay, those 3 chords are important. They're going to come up in your life, so make sure that you have those memorized. When you see G7, you don't even need a chord chart anymore. It's just that you know what that is. C, F, and G7 will come up every single day of your entire ukulele life. So just make sure you get those in your noggin sooner rather than later. Okay, let's play the melody. Again, I'm going to count in 2. We are in first position. Okay, Jennifer and I were talking about 10th position earlier. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there are no 4s, so you're never going to use this. So every 1 is an index finger, every 2 is a middle finger, every 3 is a ring finger. That's all you're going to do. Just make sure you pluck the right string. Okay. Singing is getting so much better thanks to Kathy's. You know, I think we owe Kathy. If you ever see Kathy out on the streets, just give her a big kiss for me, because I can get the first note right. After that, it's a little bit out there, but yeah. So, all right, here we go. Don't kiss Kathy in the streets. That's weird. From the top, I'm going to count 1, 2, and then we're going to go, okay, twice through. 1, 2. To the top. How about that for melody? That's nice. That's really, really solid. Um, One of the things I caught myself doing, when you get to a half note and you're just going to let that thing ride, it's a cool, fun thing to do. Take it. Let's say your half note's a 3 on the second string. It's that G note, right? Take your finger and just wiggle it a little bit while it's playing. Okay? Just back and forth, up and down in parallel to the strings themselves. Okay, that's called vibrato. It's different than tremolo. Tremolo is this. Okay, vibrato is this. If you're a violinist, this is how you make your living, and you're wiggling your fingers. Okay, but we can do it on a fretted instrument as well, right? Just give it a little wiggle. You know, maybe the first string, 3rd fret. And if you listen real careful, you can hear that little quaver in there. It's not changing the note. It's just filling out the note on both sides of it with a little bit of ooh, that sound to it. And it really can make you sound a little more professional. People will watch your fingers, and you know, when they watch you play, they're watching what your left hand's doing. They're not paying any attention to your right hand. And don't tell them this is where the magic comes from. Let them think it's this hand, right? You give them a little wiggle, and they're like, "Oh, I see what you're doing there. You're making this beautiful quavering sound." And so, half notes are perfect for that, especially when you're just playing the straight melody. You get a half note in there and just wiggle your little finger until it wants to come off, and it just gives a nice little extra professional touch to your playing. And I think it's kind of a nice technique to try out. Okay. All right. Last piece is, of course, tough uke. And again, make sure you know who you are, right? I'm a chord player. We got to fix you. We're in the process of fixing that. I'm a melody player. Awesome. We got you where we need you. Okay. I'm a tough uke player. That's hard, right? But hopefully that's coming together for you. That's where we want to get you. And then once you're there, then we start talking about you as a musician. Like, so if you can pluck through Brahms' Lullaby, then you have all of the tools that you're going to need. Now we got to start talking about, all right, how are you going to make Brahms' Lullaby Renee's lullaby or Kathy's lullaby or Jennifer's lullaby? What are we going to do to make that particular presentation of this piece of sheet music yours? How do you own it? And a lot of that comes down to how much beautiful tone can you bring to it? Are you going to add in any extra decorative notes? Are you going to put some vibrato in there? Are you going to play it? Are you going to plug in and put a fuzz pedal on it and play it like you're a death metal ukulele player? You know, all of that stuff has been done. It is possible. And so I want, once you tackle tough uke and you're like, I get it. I basically can knock out these tunes. Then the next question is, then we start talking about storytelling. We start talking about your relationship with the music, your history, your emotional content with it, all that stuff that's not written down on the paper. What do you bring into it? And so that's where, hopefully, as you become a better player, that's where you get. And it's a little hard sometimes when I'm giving private lessons, we talk about that, but in a large group, because everybody's in so many different places, just know you're working toward a goal of becoming an independent musician who creates beautiful music. You're not working toward the goal of doing what's on the paper. Okay. Yeah, that's a preliminary goal, but the real goal is to just get you where you can play. Okay. Or you can play where you can make music, and it's a little bit higher level of thinking. Okay, all right. Brahms Lullaby, tough uke style. Those of you guys who have been around, you know how this works. Just remember, your rest strokes are important. When you come down, make sure your thumb is resting on the string you're not going to play. I'd like you to do two things for me. The first time through, let's do it backwards. The first time through, I want you plucking. Okay, if you can. Okay, I want you to use these fingers. I'm going to use all four fingers because there are lots and lots of places where I'm going to be playing all four strings. Okay, I may drop down and just play three when it's appropriate, but for the most part, I'm going to be in all four strings, all four fingers. Let's go through that the first time. Second time through, let's bring in the thumb, and you'll see the difference. The first way is going to feel more classical, and the second way is going to feel more lullaby-ish. So that's what we're after. Okay, let's give it a try. 1, 2. Oh, I see. I only count in 2. I keep thinking it's in 4. In 3, I'm going to count in 2. 1, 2. Now let me try again. I got to hit the first 2 notes. The audience cares about the first note and the last note. In between those 2 places, they're just waiting for the song to be over. So get the first note and the last note right. Here we go. 1, 2. Thumb. Second ending. Hold the chord until your ukulele stops ringing. Double check the baby's asleep. and then go get the glass of wine. No, don't say wine. Yesterday turned into a chaos over a glass of wine. So yeah, beautiful, right? That whole thing works. And the whole thing is really, as you are getting your playing chops up to speed, what you're really trying to get there, I think, is you're trying to get the most beautiful, sensitive, soul searching, uh, combination of legit classical music and put the baby to sleep kind of thing, and just really create something beautiful. That's what I'm hoping that you're getting out of that. Nice job, guys. All right, moving on to Beethoven. We've nerded out enough on Brahms. Let's go to Beethoven, which is back one page. Not there. Beethoven. So I played through this about 50 times today, and I'm pretty satisfied with it. I don't think I intend to change really anything about it. I have one note on page 1, which I'll tell you what it is. I have one note on page 2, I think. And then I have one note or 2 notes on page 4. So we'll talk about those. And I think the notes are just my playing decisions, not really things that need to change in the sheet music. I may change them, but I probably not. So there we go. Thanks for the lesson and the leaf. You're welcome, Bert. Was it there for weeks? That's terrible. You know what I do with this plant? I pour water in the bottom. That's it. I don't, and I went twice a week. Pour a little water in the bottom. That's it. I can't pour it in the top because it overflows. So I don't know where that plant came from, but I'm not convinced that I like it. I can't see what you are doing differently with your strumming. With my, you can't see what I'm doing differently with my strumming with Brahms. Give me a little more clarity, Q, on what the question is. I'm not positive I understand the question. Can you not just physically see it, or is it? Am I doing something differently than you're doing? I'm not sure what you're asking. So see if you can ask it in a little different way, Q. Couple of thoughts here. We're going to be playing the entire Sonatina top to bottom tomorrow as written, all the repeats. So we're going to go through and make sure each of the sections today is making sense to you and what the things you should be thinking about with that. And so there's that. As for next week, I do have a plan. I'm going to use you guys as guinea pigs. Forever, I have had 2 books. My intro book, which is already on the site. And then I have book 2, which I sort of pull stuff out of and throw, depending on when my local classes are here. If I'm sick to death of teaching a certain song, I'll pull that song out and I'll put a different song in. So there's this book 2 that sort of rotates in and out of book 1. Well, I've decided I want to just go ahead and have 2 separate books. And so next week, we're going to be taking not necessarily beginner stuff, but stuff that you would be getting in my local class here that's supplementary material. So in other words, you already know how to play Tough Uke. You already got all of the full information you need, but we just need more practice on certain things. So hopefully that'll give those of you guys that are playing well, give you a chance to have just a little bit more fluency, a little bit more connectedness, a little bit so the tunes are a little easier than we've been playing typically on these daytime things, and still give you plenty of challenges, right? So, and it's all public domain stuff, so that when I'm all done, and you guys have said, "Yep, these songs are making sense to me," then we will put it together as an actual official book 2. And so I want to do that, and that's going to take us a couple weeks to get through it. And they're all beautiful tunes as far as I'm concerned. So I'm going to be doing that with you. Now, the question I have, and I want you to think about this, is I am thinking as we get to fall, I want this class to stay exactly the same with one possible exception. I think we might move the new player material up an hour. So I'm going to say, whatever time you are at in your location is different than me, but I start this class at 1 o'clock. My thinking is I would like to probably move the beginner material, the intro to ukulele material to noon, and then keep the more advanced material here at 1 o'clock. Most of you guys, I don't know everybody in the 26 here, but I know most of you guys have been around a lot. Most of you guys remembers, and I want to make sure that I take care of you guys. And so I want to leave this slot here. that gives us, instead of rushing a 30-minute or sometimes 20-minute lesson from 1:30 to 2, that you would start at 1 o'clock and we'd have a little bit more time just to dial into that more advanced material in this time slot. And then the player for the little bit easier material, we would have an hour earlier. So we'd have a 12 o'clock for the newer players and then a 1 o'clock for you guys that are more experienced. That's my thinking as we get further in or closer to fall. A lot of people are talking about going back to school and all this stuff, and I'm still in utter amazement that we're even talking about that. But so that's what I'm thinking. And so give me a little bit of feedback on that idea, either here in chat or through email. I don't want to mess you guys up that are religious about attending and are, been supporting me through the website and just really trying to become better ukulele players and are already fine ukulele players. I want to make sure that you continue to have your time slot here. And then what I'd like to do is, because I feel like it doesn't hurt you at all to sit through Three Blind Mice and My Spaghetti Monster, but I know after about the fourth time, you're like, I can't do it. I just can't sit through it anymore. So give me some thoughts either here in the chat box or online. I want to make sure that we continue to do high level stuff, but I also have to support newer players that are coming in all of the time. And we want to make it easy for them and not so scary, right? If you're a new player and you walk in, and you're like, all right, here's My Spaghetti Monster. And you're like, okay, I think I've got that. And then I say, okay, now Beethoven, that's kind of, if you are newer, please know I'm aware that that's a weird thing to do to you. Okay, Beethoven, let's see. Q hasn't followed up. Let's see. Lynn's okay with that. Cindy's okay with that. Yes, to a second time friend. Kate, love it. And Lindy says, all right. So most of you guys are okay with that. We'll see what we say. If you have other opinions, send it to me on email, or if you have the same opinion, or if you just like email. Okay, I am caught up, sort of. So I can actually read emails right now. Beethoven. My only note on page 1 is in measure 2. Okay. So when you're in measure 2 and you have that F chord and then you have this 8, and then my note is play this 3, the 3 that follows the 8 with your ring, because you're going to need to be putting your F chord on while you're doing that. So that note's kind of important. I would say, and it repeats somewhere else in there. I'll find it when it comes up. It's on page 2 somewhere. It's on page 2 at measure 18. So you might put that same note on measure 18 that you want to play the first 3 in measures 2 and 18 with your ring finger. Okay, that sets you up to. Okay. That's my only note. If that's my only note, that's a pretty decent piece of music. Okay. Sounds good with the 2 classes. Times are okay with me. You'll do both, right? That'd be nice. Right? I can't believe you do 1. I have listened to me. Oh my God. Thank you guys for putting up with it. I like the time slot idea. So glad you will still be doing this in the fall. Great. Blinky. Yeah. Here's what I know, guys. I am a really wildly positive and compassionate human being, and I am absolutely positive that people don't understand how and truly deep in my soul optimistic and I am. But there are times when something happens, I'm like, that ain't gonna work. I feel very strongly that we're going to open these schools up and we're going to shut them right back down. And so I do not think Americans understand at all what we're dealing with here. And I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong, but I am almost 1,000%. In my heart, I'm 1,000% positive we should not be going back to school, but we are probably anyway. So they don't call and ask me anything, and they shouldn't, because I don't know what I'm talking about. All right. If you are a teacher and you're going back to school, gee, good loving. I am. All right. again, with this piece, if you want to play chords, 100% fine. What I think would be fun is one of you guys, if you are hanging out with another ukulele player, thinking of Diane and Gary up there in Washington, one of them plays melody, the other plays chords. You know how cool that would be to be knocking out a Beethoven Sonatina as a duet on ukulele? That would be super cool, right? If you could pull that off. I know Cheryl and Bruce often are logging in here and paying attention to it too as well. So they're helping their kids move, so I bet you they're not listening today. But um, um, be be mindful that you can absolutely play the chords and the melody together as a duet, and it would be super fun. Okay, I'm going to play Tough You because I think most of you guys here are love that stuff. So let's go through it and just talk about those places that are going to make you sad. Okay, so let's go through. I'm going to count in crazy slow, and then we'll stop when we need to have a conversation. But get your F chord on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Strum, strum, 1, 3, oh, strum. Go grab your 8 with the pinky, grab the 3 with your ring finger, and then put your F chord on. Oh, oh, 1, nice C7, nice A minor 7, and 3, oh, 1, 0, 0, 3, 3, 5, strum, oh, 1, 3, F chord, strum, 3, oh, 3, strum, 1, 3, oh, B flat. Immediately get your 5, 1, 5. This is where this is an option. Okay, in the middle of measure 6, you now get your other B flat. For some of you guys, you have been like, yep, I get it. B flat, bar on 5, F shape in front. Okay, and you're going to be fine. But lots of you, and me included, are like, oh God, that's not going to go very well, right? So what I want you to do is be fine with just playing the 5 on the first string and moving on. So let me give you both examples. So measure 6 could be, okay, it could be just straight melody through there. It's absolutely fine. Sounds fine. The other possibility is to play that chord as your B flat on 5, which we've done a ton here in these classes, right? But it doesn't necessarily mean you're comfy with it, okay? Because you got 2 B flats you hate now, okay? Let's play measure 6 the other way with the chord in it. Ready? Go. Okay, so very difficult going. You got a lot of up and down. There's not a ton of solutions to it. I think Kari was trying to work through some solutions yesterday, and I'm not sure where she landed on that, but I think that it is relatively challenging measure. So if I'm working on this, getting this ready to perform for somebody, yeah, I'm digging into that. Okay, let's go to measure 6, and we'll play on from there. And just know when you get to 7, you got that nice big fat F chord. Okay, that's waiting for you there. Okay, from measure 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. Strum 5, 1, 5. Strum 3, 5, 7. Strum 3, 5, 1. Strum 3, 1, 3. Little strum, oh, strum. Okay, then we keep going forward. Strum, oh, 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 C7, oh, 3, oh, strum, 1, 10, 8, strum, 5, 3, 1, strum, oh, 1, oh, pinky, strum, 1, oh, 1, B flat chord on 5, strum, 3, 12, 7, 8, 7, 5, 3, B flat, strum, 10, 8, 7, 5, 3, 1, strum, 8, 7, 5, 3, 1, oh. Okay, and then turn the page. Before you turn the page, though, when you make the show, hopefully you've got these two pages sitting side by side, right? So you've got page 1 and page 2, because then we'll have this moment where you have plenty of time for a change to turn the page. So I'd like you to have it printed out as pages 1 and 2 facing each other, and then pages 3 and 4 facing each other. One of the musician skills is buying a printer expensive enough to print out all of this stuff where you can actually see it, and that can do double-sided. So in this case, you're going to have 1 and 2, and then 2 and 3 are on the back and front of each other. So you always have to think about that. The other way is just take a piece of tape, print everything out single-sided, and then tape the 2 back and forth that need to be. Okay. One of my things that I figured out on this, which is actually pretty helpful, every single time he's coming down the fretboard, okay, he's following the same pattern. 12, 10, 8, 7, 5, 3, 1, 3. Okay. Or 1, 0, 3. He's just following the C scale right down the neck every single time. So there's never any variation in the notes you need to know. Once you get to measure 10, it's always going to, whatever your top note is, 10, 8, 7, okay? And then on the measure 12, he goes up to 12, 10, 8, 7, 5. And then in measure 13, he starts at 10 and goes down. And then at measure 14, he starts at 8. Okay, so it's okay, is what he's working on there. And that way, when you know, like, oh God, here's that 12, I got to take my eyes off the paper. You know the pattern. So once you just make sure your fingers are in the right spots, follow the pattern down, and then you can look back up and see what the next pattern is going to be. I think that's made it easier for me not to stress out when I get to those runs. Okay. Let me see. Totally, absolutely sounds good. I'm open to that one. Do a live. Okay, Laurel's up for a duet. Anybody want to hang out with Laurel? 2 times for class sounds good to me. We will rephrase my question. Okay, all right. Thanks, Hugh. And love that. It's beautiful. Yeah, it's really a nice. This whole song is amazing. It's amazing. I don't know why it isn't. I don't know why it's not required for everybody to know this. All right, measure 15. How are we doing on time? Measure 15. Let's give it a try. 1, 2, 3, 4. Strum, oh, 2, strum, 1, 3, oh, B flat, strum, oh, 1, strum, 1, 3, oh, strum, 1, 3, oh, strum. 8, use your ring finger. 3, strum, oh, 1, strum, 3, oh, 1, strum, 3, 5, strum, oh, 1, 3, strum, 3, oh, 3, shouldn't have delayed, strum, 1, 3, oh, strum, 5, 1, 5, strum, 3, 5, 7, F, 3, 5, 1, strum, 3, 1, 3, strum, oh, strum. And then we'll repeat, go back to 9, and we'll play that section again tomorrow. Okay, that I would say that little section there, which is the beginning section, and then it repeats here, is pretty tough. Okay, it's not as tough as some of the other stuff we play. It's certainly not as tough as Sunrise and Sunset or La Vie en Rose or some of these other ones we've dealt with, but it's not easy. Okay, the nice part is it's basically following the C scale, which is nice to have. Okay, now. My note at 25 is to switch to plucking, because I'm going to try to make it fancier there, okay? But you don't have to do that. I'm going to pluck through from 25 through 34. That's my intention anyway, okay? So let's get going. Let's in this case, the chord is a C7. Doesn't help you a ton to grab it, but you might as well, okay? And here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. that's my intention to play it through there, and it's actually quite playable for those of you guys working on your claw. That's going to be a great little section there for you to practice that. You just grab all 4 strings and claw your way through that. It's actually quite fun. I just changed strings on this ukulele, and it's not having any sustain yet, and so it's interesting that it sounds way better on my tenor that is fully got the strings are fully set up. But I intend to pluck it there, and we'll see what it sounds like. Okay. All right. That's the end of page 2. Remember, first song is page 1 and 2. Then there's this teeny tiny 3-beat rest, and then we're going to go move on to page 2, 3, and 4. So let's do that real quick. We got 9 minutes. We're in good shape. Q says, yeah, I know, right? Poor. Love the section, beautiful, and I like the sound of plucking the chords a little bit better. So yeah, and that's exactly when we talk about musicianship, right? It's exactly what we're talking about. I can tell you maybe 85% of the time I'm thumb down because it sounds great. It sounds beautiful on ukulele. It sounds beautiful on guitar. It sounds beautiful on everything, right? So I way overuse my thumb, and that's not necessarily smart. And I notice sometimes I have to talk you guys into plucking so that you don't so I don't have a whole army full of thumb people. But the idea here is you get to decide. So you go through, play with plucks, then you go through and play with thumbs. I would say if I'm Beethoven and I want to say, all right, I'm going to start playing ukulele because piano's not working out. If I'm Beethoven, I'm probably a thumb guy because Beethoven liked things big and bold and over the top. But this piece, if he wrote it, he probably wrote it when he was 12, 13, very young, early composition for him. And if that's true, he's coming out of the classical tradition, which was blink, 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 blink. And that's what that classical tradition, which owes a lot to the Baroque tradition, which was really like that. I would say if I'm Beethoven, if I'm young Beethoven, I'm plucking it. And if I'm old Beethoven, I'm strumming the heck out of this thing. So I think you get to decide either way is going to sound great. That's my thought on that. Okay. By the way, I don't think Beethoven would have been playing ukulele. Just kind of guessing he would have stuck with piano. All right. 35 is we're ready to go. Okay. Lynn's also a plucker. And Lynn, oh, we got an army of pluckers showing up here. Oh boy. Now we got to fix something. All right, measure 35. I'm going to count in 3. And again, the second and third and fourth pages of this are a little easier to play, a little bit. Okay, not easy, but a little bit. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Oh, 1, 3, strum. 1, strum. 1, 3, strum. 1, strum. 1, 3. D minor, so beautiful. 1, strum. Oh, 1, strum. 2, 3. Oh, 1, 3, strum. 1, strum. 3. Oh, B flat. 5, 8, 5. 1, strum. 3, strum. 3, 3, strum. Okay. Then we will take the directions there. We'll play those next 3 notes and go back to 36. Okay, so we'll play that section twice. Now let's go on to 44 because we don't have time to play that all right now. Measure 44. Let's get that F chord on and let's go from there. 1, 2. Strum 2, 3. 1, oh, 1. Strum, oh, 2. Strum 5, 7. 10, 8, 7, something, 3. I blew it. I know what I did. I reached down and I grabbed the 12. And I was like, why does that sound funny? Let's start from 44 again. I apologize, guys. I should do better than that. From 44, 1, 2. Strum 2, 3. 1, oh, 1. Strum, oh, 2. Strum 5, 7, 10. 8, 7, 5, 3, G chord, oh, 3, G with your pinky, 5, 2, 1, strum, 3 strums, da, da, F, 1, F, drum, 1, F, 3, D minor, 1, 2, strum, 1, 2, strum. strum 1, oh, strum 0, 3, 5. A little bit of a rest there. Let it ring out and go. 3, 1, 0, 3, 1, 0, 2, 0, 2, 0, 1, 3, 4, Y, 0, 1, 3, F, 1, C, 1, 3, F, 1, F, 1, 3, D minor, 1, G7, 0, 1, strum, 0, 1, 3, strum, 1, strum, 3, 0, B flat, 5, 8, 5, 1, F, 3, C7, 3, 3. And then at this point, really important that page 3 is facing because you're going to jump all the way back to 44. Boom, you don't have any rest there. 1, strum, 3, 3, F. Okay, and then we start that section again. When we come around, we're going to play through that, and then we're going to go to 65 to finish up. 1, 2, strum, 0, 1, 3, strum, 3, strum, 0, 3, D minor, 1, D minor, 0, 1, B flat, strum, 0, 1, strum, 0, 3, strum, 0, strum, 1, 3, strum, 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 0, 3, D minor, 8, 5, F, 0, 3, 3, strum, 8, 5, strum, 0, 1, 3, 3, strum, big F chord, little F chord. And then we're crossing off 77 because I was trying to be cute and I failed. Okay. So the only note I have on this page at measure 71 and 73, where the 8 is, I am going to be trying to put on my B flat on 5 and putting my pinky on 8. Okay. And I debated whether to put that on for you guys or not, and I chose not to because I think it's super hard at that moment. This is hard. This B flat's hard enough, but then adding the pinky on in that kind of a time frame is a little challenging. So if you're doing well and you're like, yep, I want to put that B flat in there, it's a B flat on 5, the F shape on 5 for the B flat in measure 71 and measure 73. It just gives a little more oomph in that section, and definitely do cross off 77. So I will probably, I might make that one note, that one chord change there, but I probably won't do it before tomorrow. Okay, so I think in the end it should be there, but I don't necessarily think that if you're a newer player or if you're in the process of getting up to speed that it's necessary. If on the other hand you're fully up to speed and you're like, yep, I want it to be as hard as possible, which some of you want that, which is, that's who you are. You can put that B flat in there at measure 71 and 73. It's an F shape on 5, pinky on 8. Okay, so that's that. Q said, Gary, thanks so very, very much for doing this class and giving us something to be positive during this long. Hey, that's why we're doing this, right? A whole bunch of not at all positive news in the world. So we use this, we recharge our batteries, and we go out there and we do the right things, right? And for each of you, that is maybe something different, right? And I know because I talk a lot, sometimes I probably irritate people up here and then they don't come back. But you know what? If they don't come back, they don't come back. This is the best thing going ukulele-wise in the entire planet. That's not true, but it's pretty good. And hopefully you come in here, you're happy, and get for a little bit to just forget about the world. So get your books ready for tomorrow. Let me double check that I know what we're talking about here. I gotta grab my correct thing. Tomorrow we are playing My Spaghetti Monster. Do you have it memorized? You, I'm talking to you. Do you have it memorized? Memorize that sucker. Three Blind Mice, you don't need to memorize that one. That one's just for getting your last little bit of chord melody training together. We are strumming Waltzing Matilda, so make sure you have that one together. C chord, F chord, A minor chord, and G chord. Those are your 4 chords. We'll sing it, we'll strum it, we'll turn into Australians real fast, and we'll be really proud of ourselves. then we're going to play Brahms Lullabye, and then we're going to wrap it up tomorrow with the Sonatina. So it should be a great day of music, and I'm really looking forward to it. And guys, tell your friends, right? Tell your friends what we're up to here. Let them know that we got a good thing going. And I know the times, no matter what time slot I put stuff in, it's never the right time for everybody. So that's the other thing I'm debating for the fall, and maybe adding in something at a later time slot as well. I just haven't quite figured it all out yet, but making plans for the rest of the summer and the fall. My assumption is I'm going to be doing nothing in terms of getting musicians together in public for a while, and so hopefully this is something that you can do to keep your crazy away, right? So some of you got crazy that's permanently inside of your noggin, and that's how we end up playing Brahms and Beethoven on the same day on a ukulele. Who knew? Guys, have a wonderful day. I'll say goodbye to you as you are walking out, and have a wonderful day. Looks like we're getting rain and humidity and all this heat, so we're going to survive, and hopefully you're having a great day where you are. I will talk to you tomorrow, right? Let's see, where else did we leave? Oh, Q would give me a nice note. Thank you, Q. Lynn, thank you. Lindy, that's awesome. Thank you. This will be fun. It's going to be a great song, man. Keep at it. Renee, you bet. I love and enjoying those scales, right? That's a fun thing. By the way, if you are a Global Institute person, you are working on an arpeggio, right? You're putting in your time. Keep getting an arpeggio warmed up so that you can put it on tape this weekend. Thinking this is my favorite thing to play. So the favorite thing so far, really, Kat. That's exciting. I just love it. Poor Rob. It is a beautiful song. It is a beautiful song. It's not near as hard as some of the other stuff we've been playing, but it's pretty hard. And the nice thing about it is when you get this, it is such an earworm. Oh my God, I just love it. I love it. So, Kat, I'm delighted you're finding it really good. Elizabeth, it's good to play Beethoven. You know, Beethoven's all right. He's all right. Kind of Famous is the best songwriter of all time, kind of in that neighborhood. I think the best writer is Shakespeare of all languages in anything. I think that one's a clear win. Beethoven, yeah, you can make some arguments for a couple others, but I don't know. I don't think so. I think he's the best one, and so we're playing one of the great songs from the best guy. He wrote this probably when he was a kid, right? Pretty decent effort at 13. Sandy, good to see you. Have a great day. Surprising myself, yay! Love that. I'm even surprising myself. That's what we're after, right there. Jennifer would love to have a later time. I know, especially as school is getting involved, and I know you're going to be headed back, Jennifer. So I'm going to be looking at that and trying to figure out what I can do about that. Jackie, have a great day. Thanks for being here. Leslie, so I do appreciate all the time. Oh, hey, I'm getting to be a better ukulele player. Who cares what you guys are doing? Yeah, right. We're putting in a little. You play an hour every day. Think about it. You're not well. We don't play an hour. I talk for 30 minutes of it, but about a half hour every single day. So seriously, getting your hands on the keyboard, you're gonna get better. That's just the way it works. Fran, good to see you. Uh, just didn't think I'd be playing Beethoven. Yeah, you're playing Beethoven. Nice. All right. And legit Beethoven, not simplified, dumbed down Beethoven. This is the real deal. It's simplified a tiny bit. Pauline, have a great day. Jennifer, good to see you. Lynn, thanks, Karen. Thanks, Lynn. See you tomorrow. Lanny, very pluggy. Big Lanny, go on. Yeah, Lanny, Cindy, I got my pluckers. Thanks, Karen. I'm gonna miss more. Oh, Chris, you're a rat. All right, I'll let you go. All right, Fran, I watched the 9-year-old. Yeah, be mindful. These little kids the ukulele videos that go around are always these little kids. They're playing 99 miles an hour, and you're like, oh, I want to play like that. That is the opposite of what you want to be doing. It's super interesting to watch. It gets people excited in ukulele, but the opposite is what you want to be doing. You want to be playing slowly, mindfully, beautifully, in depth, amazing tone. And most of the time when I see those little kids playing at warp speed, they're plugged into an amplifier. They got the reverb turned all the way up. They got their chorus on. The whole thing is super electronically processed. Not always, but most of those things are really a little bit of a sham. And there's one kid I know. She goes by Mew Mew. She's a classical guitar player or a guitar player of some sort from I think Japan, maybe China. Cute as a bug's ear. That girl can really play, but for the most part, these kids that you see going around, uh, their music teachers have drilled one song into them for 6 months or a year, and then plugged them in, turned the reverb and the chorus up, and then had them play crazy fast. It's not at all. It is not at all a smart way to approach music. So it's kind of fun, but it's not really where we want to get them. Uh, Thanks for putting the piano version on. Oh yeah, that's helpful, right? To know how the song goes. You bet, Elizabeth. Have a great day. Wonder when it would be. I know, right? Beethoven had an early piano that was tuned a little bit wonky, so I don't know. I don't know. I'm not an originalist, so I don't know. Somebody out there would know that answer. All right, guys. End in the stream. Have a great day. Be good. Be safe. Talk to you soon.